So I know I'm a little late to the party in terms of talking about James Harden becoming a member of the 76ers, but after my last two videos breaking down how the Nets should utilize Ben Simmons, as well as how Goran Dragic transforms this Nets team's offense, I've really enjoyed breaking down game footage, and people have seemed to really enjoy those videos as well. So, with James Harden's Sixers debut coming up here, I thought why not break down just how scary this Sixers team can truly be with James Harden running the offense. What's up guys, SCJ here, and if you enjoyed today's video, then make sure to give it a like as it helps out a lot, and if you're new to the channel and or enjoy the NBA, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. So as someone who's a lifelong Nets fan, and someone who began covering and writing about the team in 2016, I of course got the opportunity to watch James Harden's Nets tenure pretty closely. I not only watched every game during his time in Brooklyn, but I also attended many games in the 13 months that he spent with the team. And even though I was already a big fan of Harden prior to him coming to the Nets, I got the chance to watch his game and how he elevated the team even closer during his time with the Nets. Harden arrived in Brooklyn last January, and right away the difference was felt about how he was able to make this team significantly better just upon his arrival. So if that happens again with Harden in Philadelphia, I wouldn't be surprised, but I want to show some examples and or plays that I remember watching that kind of show just how dangerous this new Sixers team can be come playoff time, and even despite the team losing some shooting and some help down low following the trade, I think this team still could be scary. So of course, if you're watching this, then I'm sure you know the biggest result of this trade, and the thing that people have talked about or have been interested to see the most is how the duo of Harden and Embiid will play together. I think the two of them will play together well, but as of right now, we really have no real idea exactly how the two will look out there together in terms of their style of play or success that they'll have, and that's simply just because James Harden hasn't had a big man with as much skill as Embiid in his career. However, aside from how he played alongside Dwight Howard, James Harden does have a long history of working well with big men, and I want to show off that by looking at how he played next to a few big men over the last few seasons, such as Capela, Nicolas Claxton, and LeMarcus Aldridge, among a few other guys as well. So let's take a look at a few plays from the Nets game against the Spurs back on January 21st of this year, and here Harden does an excellent job of setting up LeMarcus Aldridge for the free throw line jumper, and with Embiid's very good ability shooting the ball, I can easily see this being a play that becomes commonplace for the new Sixers duo. Once again, we're going to look at a few more plays from Harden to Aldridge, and here's a connection from Harden to Aldridge where Aldridge displays the great touch around the rim, which is something Embiid also possesses. Then here we have a play where both men gravitate towards Aldridge, leaving Harden open for a mid-range jumper. This is the final play we'll look at between Harden and Aldridge, but this is a beautiful screen and roll play between the two, and Harden commands the type of coverage where two men might convert onto him and could leave Embiid open, which of course is silly with how talented Embiid is, but it shows how dangerous Embiid and Harden can truly be together. I know Embiid really isn't thought of as a screener, but if we look at how well he operated with JJ Redick as the screener a few seasons ago, it shows just how elite of a pick-and-roll duo Harden and Embiid can truly be. I want to look at a few more plays with Harden and big men before we move on, and here he is with Nick Claxton on two huge plays. The first play comes from the Nets game against Phoenix last season, and while Claxton is much faster and jumps higher than Embiid or any of the Sixers' current big men, I'm sure Embiid will be fine getting a bucket on a screen and roll connection just like this. Then this play right here is something I could see the Sixers running with Maxey, Harden, and Embiid, or one of their bigs, and while this is simply put just a great dunk by Claxton, Harden's vision and quick sight is on display here, and it was brilliant. Then we're going to end with some plays from Harden to Capela here, but simply put, Harden is a phenomenal playmaker, and as you can see, he works very well with big men and better than average fans might realize, and that's why I'm interested to see how the duo of Harden and Embiid are going to end up looking. Now, if you're a die-hard basketball fan like myself, then I'm sure you know how great James Harden has been when he plays alongside another great guard. Now, while the Sixers don't have a guard on the level of Kyrie, Irving, or Chris Paul, I think Harden's prior history of playing great with other guards bodes well for the Sixers' success, as well as the success of guards such as Maxey, Korkmaz, etc., as well as James Harden too. Now, this play shows the great passing and vision of Harden as he actually connects with a former member of the Sixers from this season, Tyler Johnson, for an assist on the three ball. Harden once again connects with Johnson here, thanks to the double team he commanded from the defense on this play. Now this play right here is back from the Nets game against the Bulls in January, and while I couldn't get a clip of the highlight that shows the full play, going back to the attention Harden draws, you can see it leaves someone like Kyrie Irving wide open, which could be huge for the Sixers if they have someone like Maxey out there, or heck, Green or Korkmaz out there as well. This is another play from the Nets game against the Bulls, and while I want to focus primarily on how Harden plays with guards right now, this can't be overlooked, as even though it was a pass to a 7-foot Durant, it's a beautiful pass and the vision from the beard here was great. Now here's two plays right here where Harden connects with Patty Mills for catch and shoot attempts, and Korkmaz has attempted 3.1 catch and shoot 3-pointers for the Sixers per game this season. So this is a huge deal in my eyes, and the gravity that Harden draws from the defense will only improve Korkmaz's 30% shooting on catch and shoot threes, in my opinion. Now, this play right here is another one from the Nets game against the Spurs that we looked at earlier, and while I think Irving's elite shooting and skill is responsible for how this play ended, it still shows off the possibilities that Harden can create with fellow guards. Now, I want to talk about what the Sixers need to do going forward, as well as what Harden can bring out of other players. In a video I posted back in July of 2020, I talked very highly of current Sixers big man Paul Reed while he was at DePaul, and while he has a different style of play compared to Jeff Green, James Harden was elite when working with Jeff Green last season on the Nets, and I think Harden can truly bring out the best in Paul Reed and show why he is one of the overlooked gems of the 2020 draft. Now, another thing I think the Sixers need to improve is what I mentioned in the beginning of the video, and that's the fact that the Sixers need more shooting after losing Seth Curry in the trade. And while I'd like to see them grab another shooter in the offseason, I think they have talented shooters right now on their roster, and Harden will have a chance to bring out the best in those players. I think Georges Niang is another guy that, while he is a big, can be a huge piece down the stretch of the season for the Sixers, and with Niang attempting 4.7 catch and shoot 3-point attempts for the Sixers per game this season, don't be surprised if Harden finds great chemistry with him like he did with Jeff Green or just any of the Nets shooters last season. So yeah guys, I hope this video was a solid breakdown and a good enough breakdown of what James Harden can bring to the 76ers team prior to his debut that's coming up here real soon, possibly even this week. And I think with how much Harden truly didn't want to be in Brooklyn towards the end of his tenure, people have kind of forgotten how elite he can truly be when he's mentally and physically 100% out there and gives it his all. So I think there's a possibility that the Sixers may need some more depth than they have right now. But also don't be surprised if Harden can get it done with what the Sixers have right now, because we may see Harden and Embiid both playing at an MVP level for the rest of the way. So anyway guys, like I just said, that's the breakdown on James Harden and how much he brings to this Philadelphia 76ers team. But I want to know what you guys think about Harden's arrival in Philly, the 76ers, or just anything having to do with the team or what we talked about in this video down below in the comments section. If you made it all the way through to the end of the video, then I appreciate it. And like I said before, if you like this video, then make sure to give it a like, as it helps out a lot. And if you're new to the channel and or enjoy the NBA, then make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. That way you stay up to date with all the newest content on my channel. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'm SCJ, and I am out. Peace.